Have you ever heard a man scream with no lungs? When my friends, Sean, Chris, and I were younger, we loved to explore abandoned old buildings and record ourselves like we saw in horror films. One day, we all decided to go to the old abandoned hospital that was on the other side of town. The place has been boarded up for as long as we were all alive. It's generally known to keep out of there, but we were looking for excitement. Once we got to the hospital, we found a way in through a broken window on the second floor. We pushed over the dumpster and helped each other up. After all three of us got inside, we lit up our flashlights, started recording, and began to walk around. This time, like many of the others, it was quiet and the building was extremely run down. But this time, something was different. As we continued, we headed back down to the first floor where we found a room with a single bed. But this bed was different than the others. This bed had restraints on it. Sean and Chris immediately ran over to start recording themselves on it. That's when we all heard a huge bang across the hall. We looked in horror and quickly began to untie Chris from the bed. Then we heard it again. Bang. We all knew we had to hurry. Then again. Bang. We panicked. Footsteps shuffled. We finally got Chris undone and we ran. As soon as we got out to the hallway, we shined our flashlight and saw it was a raccoon eating cans of food he must have found. We were all relieved. We decided to head back and call it. That was enough excitement for one day. We turned and began to go back from the direction we came. We continued back up the stairs to return to the window we entered from. When we arrived, we looked outside and noticed the dumpster was no longer there. My heart sank. I knew something wasn't right. Then I looked down and noticed the floor we were standing on had a latch. That's when it opened and all three of us tumbled down a slide. We hit the floor, landing on a pile of old hospital bedding. It was pitch black. I began to search for a flashlight in the darkness. That's when I heard it again. Bang. This time louder than when we heard before. I scoured the floor as fast as possible again. Bang. This time it sounded like it was in the same room. Terror sets in, but I finally find the flashlight, turn it on, but it flickers. I see something move quickly in the shadows. The light turns on. I look around, no Chris and no Sean. Petrified, I hear the bang on final time. Right behind me. As I turn, I see him. I see through him. Literally through him. His ribs exposed, but only his ribs. I tried to scream, but nothing came out. I locked eyes with him and he released a terrifying scream. But I noticed something in my fear. He sounded like Chris and Sean.